Hello, everybody. Dr. F. Scott Feil here, and I'd like to introduce you to our newest sponsor. The NPTE Final Frontier is the review course that I wish was around when I took the board exam. For those of you who know my story, it took me a handful of times to pass that exam, and quite frankly, I really wish I had an exam review course around, just like the NPTE Final Frontier. Check out their website, npteff.com, and use the code HET at checkout for 10% off to all of our listeners and fans. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Teach Me Something Tuesday episode of the Healthcare Education Transformation Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. F. Scott Feil, and I want you to take a moment and close your eyes and think about this one phrase I'm about to say. This is not the only class. All right. Did you think about that for a minute? I wanted to take this opportunity to talk about something that is both important for students and for professors to remember. One, these students are taking several classes. We have to keep that in mind. And two, professors are teaching several classes. You have to keep that in mind. So that being said, let's look at it from both sides of the coin here, because I think it's very important. For professors or educators, when your students are taking multiple classes, that can affect them in several different ways, right? One, it can be stressful if they have a course like, let's say, gross anatomy, which is always a very difficult course. That takes a lot more time, right? It's worth a lot more credits. It takes more study hours. It's just one of those courses that really can make or break a student, especially in physical therapy school. So we have to kind of remember that, our class may not be the only class that they're taking, right? And then, depending on course load, it could be several courses, right? Not just one or two, but maybe upwards of 3, 4, 5, 6 courses, whatever they've decided to take, or whatever the curriculum dictates that they take that semester, So as important as our course seems to us as teachers and educators, we have to remember that we're not the only course out there. So, little things like just asking them about what other courses they're taking or what's going on in your other courses. Or for us, we have labs on weekends. So what other course do you have this weekend? What other lab are you taking? Just kind of asking, seeing how they're doing, figuring out what they're up to, what they're working on, trying to keep your finger on the pulse and showing them that you're interested in what else they're having to go through. The other thing too is we as a faculty have a calendar that we share of when we post our exams. So we try not to overload them in specific trimesters with certain exams. So if myself and another professor have a class in one trimester that is for the same cohort, and both of our midterms end up on a Wednesday, well, that's not going to work, right? That's 2 tests on one day, usually overlapping around the same time, right? So we know that that's not going to work. So we try to spread that out. And again, it would be nice if the tests were not Tuesday, Wednesday, right? Because then they've got to study all week, and then they take the one test Tuesday, then the next one Wednesday. So I think what we're looking for is, just being aware that there are other classes, there are other assignments due, there are other exams going on. And so it's nice to try to keep in touch with what they're going through, and obviously give a little grace when we know it's midterm time and things are crazy, or it's finals time and things are crazy, and just be aware that, our course may not be the center of their world all day, every day, like we like to think. And for students to remember as well that professors have other courses that they're teaching, right? So again, same thing. It's nice to offer them a little grace if a grade doesn't get turned around right away, or an assignment doesn't get the proper feedback right away. Just recognize that overall professors want you to succeed, right? For the most part, they don't want you to fail. If you fail, that's a reflection on them, and they're not doing their job good enough. So it's important to recognize that we are all humans. We make mistakes. We have other lives outside of our world in academia there, and we are teaching several courses at once usually. So Again, important to give grace and realize that sometimes things are, just one of those times where it may get a little tough or bumpy road or whatever, right? Or somebody, may put a wrong grade in or make a mistake or something on a test. Recognize that they're not trying to trick you, they're not trying to fail you. Simple human error happens sometimes. And so with that in mind, again, the takeaway from today's Teach Me Something Tuesday is both for professors and for students. I love it when that happens, and it's something that both of them can get something out of. Recognize that this is not the only course, and there are other courses going on for both sides. So keep that in mind, and recognize that, hey, some of the other courses might feed into your course, or be a part of building the foundation of a course or curriculum. So it can be good to also talk to other classmates about what they're seeing in other courses, or other professors and what they're teaching in their courses. As much as you can keep that finger on the pulse, it's just going to benefit everybody. So hope that was helpful. And I hope that you guys are going into some form of midterm or final with a little bit of rest and a little bit of peace of mind. See you guys on the next one.